first thing you need to know. Number one, you need to know that Sardis had a glorious past. This was a well-regarded city, and if you lived there, you could be proud of it. You were in the right neighborhood, you were in the right municipality, and it was something you could be proud of. They were glorious, they were honorable, they were important. But in 17 AD, first century, year 17, something happened. There was an earthquake, decimated the city. And so all that glory of the past now lay in rubble. They tried to rebuild. They tried to get to work. And this was an important city. So the emperor himself said, let's designate some funds. Let's get some resources to Sardis. We can't let that glorious city of such great repute lay in rubble. But Sardis never recovered. Even as the Christians in Sardis receive this letter from Jesus and vision from John, they lived in a city with a great reputation that was unable to recover. The city as a whole didn't finish the work of rebuilding. The other thing you need to know is that Sardis sat on top of a pretty steep hill. And at the top of the hill, you got, the way these cities would work is you'd have people kind of who lived on the sides of the hills and in the area around, but at the top of the hill was what they called an acropolis, kind of a walled fortress. And when some foreign army or invading king decided, well, that looks like a city I'd like to have for myself, so I'm going to get my army, I'm going to go take it. Well, they felt pretty confident that everybody in the area around could just go into this fortress at the top of the hill. They had the high ground. If you want to be strategic, you know you need the high ground. They could go into that, shut the doors, and wait out any siege, and they would be fine. And most of the time, that's what happened. Somebody would come along, try to take the city, everybody would go in, they'd shut the walls, they would wait, siege would end, and then things would go back to normal. It's not an easy place to take. Twice in the history of Sardis, once in 549 BC and once in 218, so 6th century, 3rd century, before Jesus was born, the city fell to an invading force. And in both instances, it was due to lack of vigilance. The guards went to sleep. They needed someone to say to them, wake up! Be alert! But in the night, while they were drowsy, the enemy forces snuck up to the side, came up the back of the hill, found the vulnerability, and by the time the sun was up, the city was taken. So you've got a city with a glorious past that is in declining importance, a great reputation, but it's dying. You've got a city proud of itself, but a fatal flaw, a lack of vigilance, permeates the whole place. And it would seem from the exhortation that Jesus offers to the Christians in Sardis is finish the work. Don't be like everybody else. Don't let the work that I've entrusted to you lay in piles of rubble. Be vigilant. Wake up. Engage. Don't become lazy. Don't take church and the kingdom and the work that I've given you, don't take that for granted. Engage. Repent. Turn. Be strong. Take courage. Do what I've given to you to do. Hold fast.